ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world. This is All Access MMA.
Always a pleasure to talk to my next guest, and of course it is Chris Golden Glove Sarro, who finally has a fight, BKFC 11, July 24th, and the opponent is Billy Martin. Chris, how are you?
Doing great, man. I'm doing real good. I'm a little skinny right now, but that's good because we're 2 weeks out, and I'm 10 pounds from fight weight, and I've never been there in my life. With a healthy diet and an actual like professional regimen, doing it the right way. It's unbelievable how good I feel right now. Yeah, we're good, man.
Yeah, well, you look good. You always look good. I'm excited to see you step back into this cage here soon. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, you've had a couple of fights lined up. Obviously, this pandemic has really thrown a monkey wrench into your plans of stepping back in and fighting. Tell everyone the backstory of what has happened over the last couple of months to actually land an official fight.
Man, it's been intense. It's been a true test of my will. As everyone knows, we've been going through this, epidemic, and it's been insane for professional athletes, but the strong survive. If you really want it, you won't give up on this. And I surely want this more than anything, man. We were given, an opponent. We fought in November. It's been since November since I've competed. That's a long time to go as an active professional. And we were offered a fight with Robert Murrow, that we trained 6 weeks for, and about 2 weeks out, he didn't want none of it. He wanted an extra month to prepare, and we were 2 weeks away from the fight. I was cutting weight, and he backed out. The guy had 50 pro fights, and he backed out because he knew what was going to he knew what was going to happen. Sorry about that. And that was my first time actually going through almost an entire camp and having a true professional, say no bueno. And that's on his conscience. So, we thank God for my coach because he keeps me right in line on how to go about things. We get right back to the drawing board, no effect. And so we stayed in camp. And, I can't name, the following opponents, that they were given, but we were given a new name. And we trained hard for this guy for a long time, and it was about 2 months later, and we were shooting for April 11th. BKFC 11 was or BKFC 12, and 11 had been canceled, and then 12 got canceled due to COVID, and then we were stuck at home. The gyms got shut down, and I was left to build pretty much my own gym, which you've been down to, in my parking lot, and just started working with bringing everyone in. We had Ras Hylton come up with my coach. We were doing all our lessons and classes right in my parking lot, and which ended up turning out to be amazing. I had started a little vlog kind of documenting it, and it was cool because it took something that, this thing was raw. You saw it was like made out of bubble gum and elastic bands and homemade heavy bags and trees and rocks but we were having fun with it. And so what it did was it really brought me back to my roots. It really got to show me I truly love what I do. If I can do it in a parking lot, with homemade, utensils and tools, I must truly be passionate about this. And that was for myself, having to see that, which just in turn increased my drive that much more. So when the gym did open up, we got right back in here, got right back to work, stronger than ever before, we were given a third opponent, and he wanted too much money to fight me. And so they said no. And we were training about 4 weeks for him, and I was cutting weight for him. So I've had 3 separate camps that have all fallen into each other. I haven't taken more than a week off in 7.5 months. I've cut weight 3 times, and now we have an opponent. Contracts are signed. God bless Billy Martin, but I am coming to kick the beep out of him. Can't swear on your show, but we're coming to do serious damage, man. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm a machine right now. And so July 24th, it's going to be an experience. It's not going to be anything anyone's ever seen before. You're going to feel this one in your chest, whether you're watching it on TV or live. I'm fired up, man. It's going to be good.
I can tell, and I feel a little worried for your opponent here, Billy Martin, with a motivated Chris Sarro. Tell me, everyone knows styles make fights. With these three different opponents that you had before you finally got Martin here, did you tweak your training differently at all for that specific opponent, or did you just kind of stay just doing what you were doing regardless of who it was going to be next?
Absolutely. We didn't tweak anything because what we have is it's gold. You know, our system, our style of training, our approach to this game, you know, it's untouchable. You can't mess with it. And it's anyone that they put in front of us is gonna go down. They can't handle this, and they won't be able to solve the riddle of Garth Crane's system. My coach is a genius, man. He's a genius. He's a mad scientist when it comes to this. And this, I'm not his second priority. Like he's put his whole life revolves around me, my career, this system making me the best athlete whatsoever. I was just up 2 a.m. this morning running the streets, got a 4-mile run in, you know, went to sleep, came back. I'm here at the gym. No, it doesn't matter who they put in front of us. Our system will take them out. No question. And it's going to change the whole game. You know, we're on a great platform with BKFC because the whole world's watching right now. And this is strictly hands, you know, and so we get to go in there and show the world something that they've never seen before. It's going to change the game. No doubt, 100%.
I can see you're back at MXA Fitness. Thank God that you guys opened back up. Before I get to that here in a minute, I did make the trip down to train with you and get a sweat in at your homemade gym there out there on the parking lot in Ellsworth. You know, for anyone that doesn't know about the difficulties and you had to go through during this time frame and to stay active and to stay in shape. Tell us, I guess, the actual workouts that you were doing that you had set up, like on the tree and the rope with the punching bag and everything that you had to set up.
Absolutely. So and it's still there now. I'll still do my warm-ups out there because it ended up becoming just a new part of my life. But so what I had was a Cobra spring, which if anyone's familiar with boxing, a Cobra spring is it's a bag that's about the shape of a human's head that sits on a rod that moves back and forth in a straight line. Now it's made to mimic your opponent's head, where your opponent's head would be if you were to slip a punch. So when it comes at you, you're supposed to slip out of the way because it can hurt you. I've been smashed in the face with that thing. But when you connect with it, it's supposed to be where your opponent's head and jaw is going to be at the time of you slipping a punch. Great tool. And you get better just by using it. And, even if you don't know how to use that thing, if you just hit it, it starts moving. It starts teaching you how to move like a boxer. I love that tool. Then we had a double M bag. Now, the double M bag is supposed to mimic your opponent's punch coming at you, and where the punch is going to be. So when you're punching it, you're not necessarily hitting, your opponent's head. You're slipping the punch at the speed that the punch would realistically come at you if you were to throw one at your opponent, they were to throw back. So same thing. If you don't know how to box and you start hitting a double M bag, you'll start moving like a boxer. So I figured those two tools were crucial to have. And it wasn't that I got to pick what I had. Those were the options I had. And thank God, because those are two awesome utensils to teach someone from square one how to move and how to compose yourself. And then I took my tree, and that was actually the first part of the gym. Was I took my tree and I wrapped a karate body pad around it with a bed comforter underneath it for extra cushion, which really doesn't matter because you're still punching a tree. There's no give to it, and and beat the hell out of that thing. And so between the three of those, and then I live in a beautiful little part of town, awesome community and neighborhood. So you get your road work in there, you jump rope in the open sun, and get your sweat on. And then you work those bags and work pads with your coach and spar on pavement because that's the smartest thing you could be doing. And between all that, it's the best options that we had, and we made the best of it. And it managed to not just keep me in shape. Like when the gym did open up, I got to come back in better shape than I was prior because I maintained, a steady increase in my pace. So, it's very Fred Flintstone-y, but that's what I like about it. It's out there. The double M bag is made with the top part's a ratchet strap, the bottom's a bungee cord connected to 2 dumbbell weights with a chain and a spoon holding them all together. So I made it in the winter in the middle of a blizzard with my father so we could get it done quick, and the thing's still hanging right now. So it'll keep hanging, until it disintegrates.
Well, let me say, Chris, I have to give you a glowing recommendation for anyone out there that wants a personal trainer or someone to help them, whether it's get back in shape, stay in shape, or just, learn combat sports. You not only are a great fighter, but you're a great teacher, and you were really fantastic when dealing with me. So I always appreciate it. I can't wait to get back down there again and see you soon. This time it'll probably be at MXA. When did you guys open back up?
Thank you, man. I can't remember the actual date. It kept getting postponed, with Janet Mills and her actions and stuff, but thank God we ended up just saying, you know what, we're opening up. Come shut us down kind of thing. This is my little brother and my little sister, my baby brother, baby sister. This is their gym, my sister's got 2 boys. They need to survive. And so far, everyone who's been working out here is still healthy, still good to go. Nothing's changed. Everything's like it was before we shut down. So we've been open. Nick, when did we open back up? Early June, like June 12th, something around June 10th, something like that. And it's been awesome, man. The environment here is great. This gym, it's not massive. It's perfect size. It's got everything in it that you need to get fit, whether you want to be a power lifter, just get in shape, basic weights, whether you're a runner, or you want to be a boxer or a kickboxer. We have everything here, and everyone who comes here gets to work. There's no dilly-dallying, everyone who comes here, they're driven, and there's an energy here that I've been to gyms all over the world, man. And there's a cool energy in this gym. There's no bad vibes here. They stay on the outside of that door. Yeah, it's my synagogue.
Perfect. I'm very happy that you guys are back up functioning and running. It really is a great gym. I love the couple of times I've been down there and got some work in with you there as well. Now, I do want to talk about an individual that you know very well. You fought him inside of the cage, and then afterwards you guys developed a fantastic friendship, and now you're training partners. Tell me how that evolution of your friendship with Mr. Ras Hylton has been. And we need to talk to him about that, because he told me it's Ross, like R-O-S-S. That's how you pronounce it. And then when I was just down there hanging out with him and Nick Gully a couple weekends ago, his wife Janice was saying it's Raz. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's Ras. It's Ras. I thought it was Ross. It's Ras. His name's Ras Hylton. For the record, Ras, I'm letting the world know how to say your name. It's Ras Hylton.
Well,
we fought in September. We fought in September. And, to anyone that watched the fight, they know how it went. And that's a humbling experience for anyone. But thing was, I was a fan of Ras when he came on the scene. Okay, so I was an amateur boxer when he started off in the amateur rankings in MMA. And I remember seeing this 7'10" giant that came walking out, knocking people out with head kicks and elbows, and he came to fight. And so, I wasn't planning on switching lanes, but just because I love the sport, I love combat sports, and I started off in MMA, I was just keeping an eye on him. I was a fan of his. I watched every fight that was online. I stayed up with every card. Not like I had his posters hanging on my wall and his name on my underwear. I was aware. I would see every time Matt Peterson would release a card, I saw Ras was on it. I always made a point of, keeping tabs on how things were going. And so when it came time for me to turn pro, and the reasons that called for that, I called Matt. He said, how about Ras Hylton? I said, absolutely. I don't even think it took me a second, and, after we fought, the way that fight went, okay, is, which anyone who truly understands the sport would see it this way. And if you don't understand the sport, like a Tyler King or somebody, you would see it another way. That could have happened to me too. So it was like a corkscrew. We were just getting closer and closer, hitting harder and harder. I hit him the way I did. It'd be the same way if my life was at risk. That's how hard I'd hit somebody, because I could tell it was going to be me or him any second. That could have easily happened to me. And if it had happened to me, everyone would be doing and saying the same things too. Oh, he's got this, or he's not capable of that. And I knew Ras was such a capable martial artist and such a talented fighter that I didn't want him to go out that way. And he had a winning record. You know, he only had one other loss, and that's just one of the best heavyweights right now and up and coming in the UFC. To someone who doesn't understand the sport, they would see those 2 losses and they would forget about all the wins. And I didn't want him to go out that way. And I reached out to him and I had just said, hey man, I know you were worth a lot more than that. Hey, he's a good friend. I didn't want a career to end that way. And especially, especially, I didn't want me to be the reason for it. And so I reached out to him, and the guy, he turned it all around. He showed me, like, because I don't know, if someone did that to me, I don't know if I'd be able to travel up to their gym, walk in there and train with them and their coach and come back, you know. Sorry.
Hey, dude, you know, this right here just goes to show like what's in here on you. And that's one of the reasons why you have so many people that support you, is because you're a good guy. I mean, whether you're a good fighter or not, I think what people really care most about is if you're a good person, and you clearly are. And the relationship that you and Ras have, I mean, I've seen it firsthand, man. He's glowing, talking about how you have helped him and the evolution of him as a fighter. So you see what I'm going to do right here, Chris? I'm going to completely turn you around and talk about Tyler King, because that seems to be the next matchup for him. Those guys are on a crash course for one another. I'm not sure what promotion is going to put it on. Tell me a little bit of the backstory as to how this came about. I have heard it from Ras before, but from your point of view, what do you see when you look at this potential matchup?
Absolutely. Well, you know, thank you for turning it around, but I will finish because it goes into what we're saying. He not only came back, he came back with that fierce. You were there. He came back. He took Bradley out, and he did it how I wanted to see. He came out and he was confident, and he had a beautiful comeback KO victory. He took a scary guy and he didn't just take him out. He put him out in an embarrassing fashion. To me, that was beautiful. And that goes to show, you know, you can't go by, you know, records on, okay, well, I have 2 losses. That's the end of my career. You can think that, and that'll be the end of your career. Or you can say, hell no. And that's what he did. And he came back, and it was a beautiful night, you know, with him talking to his daughter, Geneva, in between rounds. The whole thing was beautiful. And so it'll be the same thing with Tyler King. Now, I'm so passionate about this sport because of what it's done for my life. When you don't show respect and you have a platform where a lot of people could look up to you, you could be a role model, and you choose to be disrespectful, like Tyler King chose to, you know, that's where the violent part in me comes out. And this can be a dangerous sport, and this sport can hand you your life. You know, Tyler King went to Janice in Geneva, these Ras Hylton's 15-year-old daughter and wife, and did the cutthroat symbol before he walked up and did it to Ras. Okay. Now, fortunately, I was able to meet Tyler right as he turned around. He bumped into me, and he had to answer for his actions like a little boy. Okay. And he was instantly stuttering, apologizing, saying he was planting a seed. You crossed the line. Okay. And Ras Hylton's such a good person. To see someone getting that upset over what you did, that says a lot, man. That says a lot. You have to really put effort into pissing someone like that off. And so fate will have it, and he will get what he's due. You know, you know, it takes a lot for me to get this way about, you know, talking about another professional, but I can't stand for something like that. And Ras is the perfect recipe for Tyler King. Tyler King's got no stand up, and he walks around and he's on this pedestal that he needs to get knocked off of. And he's going to walk into something he's not going to like. He's basing Ras off of his losses. You know, he keeps bringing me up, you know, who's going to knock him out quicker, you know, Sarro or me. It's like, well, you got to knock someone out first, Tyler, to even talk like that, you know, and it's not going to go over that way. And it's a fight that everyone's going to want to watch, because even though there's emotions involved, you can take those emotions, and like I do, and channel them. When I was coming out to my fight, Chris Lytle saying, or Chris Lytle goes, Chris Sarro, he's an emotional fighter. I hope he can keep control of those emotions. Those can get you tired. I'm well aware of what emotions can do to you in a fight. But if you learn to channel your emotions into composure, into being your most technical, sound, calmest fighter, you channel it into that's some powerful energy that no man can mess with. And so that's what you're going to see with Ras and Tyler. It's not going to be Tyler's night, and it's going to be a turning point in Ras's career.
Let me ask you this, because clearly Tyler is a good athlete. I mean, he was in the NFL, for crying out loud. I mean, that's you don't see many people, if you look at all the millions of people around, that actually make the NFL, and he did. So, you got to tip your cap to him there. But as a mixed martial artist, and you're talking about the stylistic matchup against Hylton, how do you feel this fight will end? Do you think Ras is going to be able to knock him out, or do you think this is to knock him out?
He's going to knock him out cold.
Okay. And then the follow-up question to that, Chris, is I think a lot of people, regardless of what happens with this Hylton and King fight, would like to see maybe you and Tyler fight. Is that something that could ever happen?
After Ras's fight, I would hope that Tyler never steps into a cage again. If Tyler even gets close to me, I'm going to knock his head 6 rows back. I'm going to hit him so hard, he's going to get knocked. He's already in the 3rd grade. He's going to be in kindergarten. He doesn't want to fight me. He knows he doesn't want to fight me. The first time I ever met Tyler, I went to approach him because of his disrespectful ways to Ras. And I went up to just approach him like, hey, what's going on? Chris Sarro, nice to meet you. I've never had a grown man act like a 6-year-old in front of me before, okay? He doesn't want none of it. So we shouldn't even go there. But if we did, it would not be a good night for him. It would be the official nail in the coffin for that man.
Okay.
And Tyler, you're listening to this, you know exactly how it would go. Anyways, yeah.
Hey, fair enough. I had to ask the question. I know a lot of people are discussing, these potential heavyweight matchups here moving forward. We'll see what happens down the road. Let's talk about BKFC 11 all the way down in Mississippi. Again, you'll be making the trip down there. Tell me who will be flying out there to Mississippi with you?
I've got my father. I've got Jake Sinclair, my best friend here. He's got my back till the end. His father, he's going to be down there. He'll be there for every one of my fights. He's always got my back. I've got Ras Hylton coming down. I've been in his corner. He'll be in mine, which is just awesome, man. It's come full circle. And I got a handful of people, man. It's awesome. I'm so excited finally to having this come into fruition. It's going to happen, and have contracts signed on both ends. All respect to my opponent, because it's fallen through 3 times now, and this guy stepped up. I mean, that's awesome. Like, whatever happens, but that's awesome. I got to show respect and be grateful for that. But yeah, man, I couldn't be more excited, because my confidence is soaring through the roof. I'm in the best shape ever. It's not gonna go any other way but me bringing another one of those medals back home to New England. We're the only signed bare knuckle pro boxer in New England, man, and we're about to bring home a 2nd win. It's exciting. It's exciting.
You see what the UFC is doing now, putting on their shows, all the restrictions, all of the testing, everything that they're doing just to make sure that they put on a safe event. What has David Feldman and BKFC told you they're going to be doing here to do the same?
When it was set for Florida, I'm assuming it's the same in Mississippi, where we fly in, and then they take us right from the airport pretty much, and we go wherever the testing's done. We all get COVID tested, make sure that we're clear, and then that's all I know so far for the procedure. Then brought to the hotel, and we take it from there. It's usually a step-by-step process. Every hour is designated and stuff like that. And the way my weight cut is going right now, there's not going to be much, of worry in that department, of having to find a sauna. I should be able to throw on a suit and go for a run and be good to go by that point. So, God bless and God willing, we all get down there and that everyone's cleared, and that I just hope everyone that there's no issues and we're able to all, put on a great show. That's going to be one hell of a fight, man. I mean, I love the UFC. I love MMA. But this is a different kind of breed in BKFC, and I know for a fact I'm friends with a lot of them. We are itching to get in there. You're gonna see some fists flying. You're gonna see some fierce stuff for sure.
Will there be fans in attendance here at this event?
As of right now, it's a 25% attendance, to their capacity. It's gone from 50 to 30 down to 25. And that's all I know as of this point and stuff. I know tickets are on sale now, so you want to get them while you can, but it's a big arena, I love my fans. I love having people there to watch, but to me, it doesn't matter if it's in a parking lot and no one's watching or anything, it's going to go, the same way.
Okay.
Just going to get to hear my punches louder.
That is true. Very true. Let's talk about the opponent, Billy Martin. What kind of a fighter is he, and what kind of a game plan do you anticipate him to try and implement here come fight night?
Sure. Billy, I've been keeping tabs on Billy for years now. Just when he won the UK, bare knuckle, he was a UK bare knuckle champ. He went over there and went across the water there and got it done. And he's got a lot of experience in MMA. I can't state his actual record off the top of my head right now. I know he's got almost maybe 30 fights. But it doesn't matter. He's got a very open, wild style. That's all I'll say tactically. And it's a perfect style. It's a perfect matchup, man. I'm just going to blast through him. I said a prayer for him the other night because I'm seriously afraid of hitting someone with my power. I think I'm the hardest hitting one in this promotion. And we saw what happened moving backwards, punching John McAllister, and I broke bones in his face like nothing. It felt like hitting a pillow. Barely threw a punch. So I said a prayer the other night for Billy because it's not going to hinder my performance, but I don't want to be the first guy to have something bad on my conscience, and it could seriously happen. Well, so it's where he's wide open. He acts wild, but he buckles down and he throws down. The guy doesn't seem to have much fear. Apparently not. He's signed up and he's still signed to fight me. And he's going down, man. The second I put something on him, he ain't gonna like it. And then if he's still standing, I'm gonna put 15 more on him before he hits the ground and do something about it. Tell me that's not gonna happen.
I can let anyone know that hasn't had the privilege of meeting you in person. Shaking your hands like grabbing a fistful of bananas, so I can only imagine what it's like getting hit over the head with it. But tell me, I know the game plan, Chris. Everyone knows what you're going in there to do. You're going to go in there and knock them out. That's the plan. Does it get out of the first round?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right.
Not in a million years.
What is next? You get this win. You keep moving forward in BKFC. When do you plan on fighting again next? And is there an opponent that you have in mind? I know you're not looking past Billy Martin, but
no. As soon as possible, man. I've got my professional career is coming down to a matter of a minute and seconds. And I'm in the line of work right now. When I touch you, that's it. So I don't see it. I don't see it getting. I see it being quick fights. And someone tried to tell me otherwise or manhandle me. It's not going to happen. I don't see anyone in this division that worries me. People talk about Hector Lombard and Chris Lieben just retired, which is so upsetting, man, because I'm such a fan. I was looking forward to facing him someday. But it doesn't matter. Whoever they put in front of me, I've never said no. I say yes every time instantly. It doesn't matter who it is. And I'm going to put each one of them down. In a beautiful fashion, and we're going to bring that belt home back to Ellsworth, Maine. There's no other. That's the only end to this story.
Well,
or die trying.
Well, hopefully that's not going to happen. Chris, always a pleasure. For anyone that didn't catch the beginning of the interview, July 24th, BKFC, Billy Martin's the opponent. That's when Chris Sarro is back in fighting again next. If you'd like to thank anyone or plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Hey, guys, thank you for the love and support that I've been shown is unbelievable. The amount of people that reach out, not just in New England or this country, around the world, I can't say enough. Because if it was about me, it wouldn't be enough. You guys light a fire under my ass. That's unbelievable. And I bring that energy out with me, and I couldn't be more grateful. We have, a list of amazing sponsors, all of them, every single one of you guys. I'd go down the list, but we'd be on the show for a while because the amount of support is unreal. Every single one of you plays a massive part of this journey, and it wouldn't all be possible without you. I just made it through this whole quarantine. You guys kept me afloat and kept me being able to train as a professional. I will fight to the death for that. I'm so grateful for that. So thank you, everyone. Ryan, thank you for having me on your show. Get your butt back up here so we can get back to work. But just so everyone knows, this boy's got serious hands. You don't want to put him in the corner. But thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure, man.
Hey, always a pleasure. We'll talk again soon, and I will make it down there and get scared by one of your crazy punches coming over the head here really soon.
Stop it. All right, man. Love you. It's good to see you.